Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to be taking a look at the, let's see, what is it called? Star Toys ST-01 Commander G/A. Or as I like to call him, Blitzwing. I think that's his name. Alright, so, here he is out of the packaging. And, yeah, pretty good, right out of the box. I'm trying to adjust my camera here. And I need to get a new background one of these days, because this one's just, it's literally falling apart. It sucks, because it's like, you know, it wasn't cheap, and but it's cheap, if that makes sense. So, alright, so, yeah, there he is. He's not got a ton of paint on him. Mostly it's like a gloss finish on the plastic, which looks really good. It fits pretty well with that cartoon aesthetic that a lot of places are going with. Now, the designer of this guy, I've actually been a pretty big fan of for a while. He did, I believe, the DX9 Megatron. That 3D printed Dinobot that I looked at years ago. The Transform Element Optimus Prime. I think the Deformation Space Seekers and the Blaster. And I'm sure there's other ones that I'm missing. Yeah, it kind of sucks that it seems like he's kind of going from company to company. I'm curious if he's maybe just freelance or something, but I kind of hope that, you know, he can get into a company and they can just run with his ideas, because he's got some pretty good designs, and I would love to see him do a second take on that Megatron, because I'm still not satisfied with Megatron overall, but his is the best one for the cartoon aesthetics. But anyway, so yeah, this guy, shout out to Chris, he got this to Bobby, who he reviewed it, and then it came to me. But I will point out, he is missing part of a finger. He wasn't missing that finger when Bobby first looked at him. Just saying. Alright, so, posability wise, because again, you know, as I keep saying, we're not doing the transformation, we just look at the figures these days. I literally, this is my first full day off in 2 months, give or take. So I just don't have the time to do all of that. Anyway, accessory wise, he does come with these two little half missile pods. I think they plug in, yeah, at the bottom of the wings here, I think. I think that's where they go. That looks fine, I guess. He does come with an alternate face, so he's got the stoic face, and he's got more of a, like, what's going on face. Just a little variation. I kind of wish he had a, like, angry face, but, and I think you just pull at the bottom here, yeah, it just unplugs. So it's a pretty easy swap out. I like this face a little bit better than the stoic face, just because it's got a little bit more character to it. Alright. He also comes with his sword. Again, it's got that purple finish to it. It's just kind of a glossy plastic. A little bit of yellow paint on the inside. And gun is just the purple plastic. All of it looks good. Alright. Posability wise, his head is on a ball peg, so you get left and right up and down, a little side to side. It does not tab in super secure here from this hinge down, but that does give you a little bit more playability with the head, depending on how you're having them posed. So that's kind of a good thing, I would say. These shoulder pads, they just come down and they just kind of tab in. It is a loose connection, so it doesn't really hold very well. So that's kind of annoying, but at the same time, I'd rather do that than like break or something. But the shoulders ratchets all the way up and then back down. Obviously, you can't go back because of the backpack. Given the character design and all he has to do, I think that's forgivable. Out to the side, bicep swivel, double hinged elbow, wrist swivels and hinges in, kind of in. Does go out, but not too much in. Ball peg, and then friction pinned here and here for the thumb. So total 3 points of articulation for the thumb. And each finger has 2 points of articulation, pinned in at the top, and then friction at the bottom. That's where that one digit came off. It's just friction down there. So kind of a bummer, but you know, what can we do? Once he's holding a weapon, no one's ever going to see it, but you know, whatever. The waist does swivel, not very far because again that backpack gets in the way. He's got a good ab crunch forward. It's loose, so it doesn't really hold, and it's pinned, so I don't think I can get in there and tighten that, unfortunately. Hip skirts move up and out of the way, and then you can ratchet it out to the side, ratchet forward, ratchet back until you get into the way. Thigh swivel, double bend knee, good range of motion there, and then tilt, or rocker and the tilt. All of that works really well. The only, you know, my biggest gripes with this guy, and they're not super big considering some of the figures we've looked at in the past, is that waist ab crunch is a little on the loose side. And then the shoulder pauldrons don't stay super tight. But past that, it's a pretty good looking dude. And then gun tabs into his hand, holds it just fine without the fingers, but then you rotate the fingers around, that just gives it some more stability and just looks good. Sword, same deal, holds it just fine, no issues whatsoever. So yeah, pretty good looking figure. Size comparison. Here he is with the Transform Element Optimus. And an MP car. So you can see how he stacks up there. And so I think size-wise he's about right. I don't have a Sunbow chart and I don't really care for one. But I mean the big thing is that he's not towering over Optimus and he's not as small as a car. And then here he is with the Fans Toys Astro Train and the KFC, what is it, Octane? So, there's my Decepticon triple changers. Looks pretty good. I do think he kind of sticks out a little bit more than the other two because he is going more for that toon look than the other two were. Yeah, and that's just one of the. It's kind of a growing problem. You know, it's like. Yeah, I'm liking the toon look, but it's really starting to make the other figures of my collection seem more dated because they're not super toon. Just because of that's how they were designed. And then short of, you know, spending $200 a figure to get them replaced as more toon figures come out, it's kind of a challenge. You know? So yeah. The only other gripe I would have on this figure is not the figure, but the actual packaging, or in the packaging. It does not have an instruction booklet. It just has one of those little cards with the scan QR code for transformations. I'll show you that real quick here. So that's this guy. So if you want to pause this video and watch the transformations, you can. Just go ahead and try and pause them and scan them. Hopefully you're not on your phone, because that won't work. But you know, this really reminds me of Transart's packaging. So I'm wondering if this Star Toys is somehow related to Transart, the company itself. I don't think the designer has anything to do with Transart, that I'm aware of anyway. But I'm wondering just kind of the way, the layout of the packaging and the fact that it doesn't come with a transformation booklet, much like Transart doesn't, because they just come with those little cards with the QR codes as well. So I'm just curious, you know, if there's some sort of connection out there, if somebody knows about it or not. If you do, if you know for sure, go ahead and post it in the comments below. Let everybody know that, hey, these guys we're all one big happy family. I'm not saying that would be a bad thing, because I do think Transart's, you know, overall they're making a pretty good product. And if they're related to Star Toys, then I'd be very eager to see where they go with that. Although, with so many other companies doing G1 stuff, I kind of think we should move past G1 and get some other figures from other lines. I still want more Armada figures, and Fans Hobby just isn't quite cutting it for me these days. I just don't like the way they're looking. But anyway, so for this guy, overall, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. I think he's pretty fantastic. He looks good. Fills that Blitzwing void to the point where I probably won't buy the Fans Toys one. I say that, but you know, I've been proven wrong by my purchases in the past. So it's always a possibility that I'll go ahead and buy the Fans Toys one anyway. But you know, but then again, you know, we've also been waiting, what, 4 years or something like that for the Fans Toys one to come out. This is, you know, it's funny just that this is the 4th MP Blitzwing that has been announced, and the 3rd one released, and one of the first ones announced was Fans Toys, and they still haven't put it out. You know, we had the DX9, or not, yeah, the DX9 one, and then we had the what was it, the KFC. They have both beat, all 3 of these beat Fans Toys to the punch. Which actually brings me to a question. Chris, if you're out there listening, because maybe you know, did the designer of this guy design the DX9 Blitzwing too? Like, is this... Are they both his work? I'm legitimately curious. Because I know he did do some work over at DX9. So I'm just curious if those were... that was his work there too. So anyway, I think that's all I've got. So yeah, it's a great figure. I do recommend picking him up. I know I'm a little late to the punch on this one, but I know Bobby looked at it first, so I had to wait for that, and then I also had to wait for a day off to actually sit down and do this. So yeah, pretty good figure. I do recommend him.